The allegations against DissociaDID cover a few areas. I'll try to sum some of them up. Lies. DissociaDID has a track history of lying, including about their university exit, their diagnosis and treatment, their past drink and drug habits, how they handle criticism, and more. I've listed some in the attached comment, but it's worth noting these are just a couple of examples of a very wide-standing pattern of behavior. Inconsistencies. This kind of goes along with the lying. DD shows a lot of inconsistencies in their stories, their symptoms, their recovery process, etc. After only a year of therapy, it would be very hard to control switches. Yet when asked if littles have a chance of coming out on camera or live streams, DD said no, that they weren't allowed out. This being said, littles are often caught on camera.
It's a good day!
It's the bestest day.
I don't...
Stuck, and that's no fun at all, is it?
When the second little switched out, who obviously it was showing you how big those flowers.
DD's story in terms of how they came to be diagnosed is hugely misleading and confusing, and is told differently every time.
I know when I first heard, oh, we might have dissociative identity disorder, I said to my therapist, I don't know what that is. Can you please explain?
Months and months and months and months, I was seeing this therapist, and she said, based on seem very different from you, have you ever heard of multiple personality disorder? And I said, yeah, I know what that is. And she said, it's dissociative identity disorder. That was the first time I was told.
Information. If you are concerned about this, we were diagnosed by Dr. Remy Acquarone of the Pottergate Centre. He runs and directs the treatment centre for dissociation and trauma survivors.
Have an official diagnosis by a psychiatrist and a specialist. Everything calmed down a little bit after that.
I've had therapists in the past who have been willing to learn for me about DID, and one of them in particular was incredible. She was a lady in Colchester. That was right before I left for university. I hadn't been diagnosed then. But yeah.
It was actually a documentary about a lady on YouTube, and I must have been like 15, 16, and that was way before I knew about the idea. I wasn't diagnosed, or, like, it was suggested to me when I was, I think, 19. So when I saw that, I found it so interesting, and I was like, this is absolutely terrifying. I can't imagine living like that. Can you imagine?
It is still quite a common story between a lot of us where we've spoken about, oh, we went to see this therapist and they didn't really get the idea, or they didn't really want to talk about it, and that needs to be something.
DD has said before that the sound of plates smashing triggers out Ruby, however, at the did. Sleep over the sound of a plate smashing triggered out Omega, and then a little.
We stepped aside and we're out in like a doorway, and I'm trying to calm her down, and she starts to fall deeper into a flashback or something, and she starts wailing and sobbing, and she starts clawing at me, and she's doing this to me, she's grabbing at me, she's screaming that she can't breathe in my face. She then starts scratching her neck. And
3. Misinformation. DissociaDID unfortunately spreads a lot of incorrect information in their content. A notable example of this is the Is Did Real video they uploaded in 2018. They list 5 studies as sources for proof of DID when actually 2 studies disprove DID and 2 aren't at all relevant to the question of whether DID is real. These 5 studies have been listed as sources for multiple debunking DID videos, and there's no way that DD would use them if they had actually read them. Their sources are also copy-pasted from articles, again indicating that DD hasn't read them. They also have a habit of claiming X is how DID works when they should be saying X is how my DID works, and they show a very unrealistic presentation of DID recovery. Another example is the 2 to 3% figure they give for how prevalent DID is.
Of the entire population.
In reality, the figure is possibly up to 1%, but these figures are quite shaky. 4. Manipulation. DD is a very manipulative person. There are tons of examples of this throughout their social media, but some recent ones include writing a very worrying goodbye post almost immediately after some Twitter users were critical of DD's diagnosis legitimacy, using language like "we'll try to stay alive" when addressing their break from social media, which again is very worrying to fans, saying, "You don't have to stay a patron, but it's the only way we can pay our rent," which manipulates fans into staying on Patreon as they wouldn't want DD to become homeless. DD often showers their audience with love and tells them they are their friends when that just isn't true. This creates a parasocial bond where the viewer feels very close to the influencer without the feelings being returned.
Then, hey, leave us a message, tell us how it went. Okay, so good luck, and I guess we'll see you all in the next video, guys. Lots of love, everybody. Bye. Lots of love. Bye.
Who then think, what would DissociaDID think of me? And know that we are so damn proud of you, as everybody else should be. And if they're not, know that we would happily tell them to get their head out of their arse and that they should be supporting you in a way that you deserve to be supported.
By the world, by the people around you, by your family, your friends, your doctors, what they expect of you and what you must do. You are the person who controls your life. You decide what narrative you write. You do not have to please people if you do not want to. You are here for whatever reason you believe you are here, but you were created.
They also very heavily moderate their feedback and comments on everything so that only the opinions they want to hear show through. They do not allow open discussions in general. 5. Racism allegations.
To act like a dog, to be told that they must return to the abuser. Oh, I'm black. That's something. I'm mixed race. I have Native American descent, lots of, I don't wear a headdress or anything like that because I haven't earned that.
6. Money. DissociaDID has alluded before to being on the verge of homelessness when in reality, they make at least £2,000 a month from Patreon, plus YouTube views, plus Ko-fi donations, plus merch, plus sponsorships. This should maybe go in the manipulation section, but there is no way that they were on the verge of homelessness. 7. Harmful stereotypes. DD perpetuates the stereotype that parts alters are the biggest part of DID, that switches are very noticeable and alters are very different from each other. The data shows that only around 6% of systems experience DID in this way, yet DD has never mentioned this at all. The switch caught on camera trend is harmful as it perpetuates this stereotype of switches being interesting, noticeable, and entertaining. People without DID click these videos not to be educated, but to essentially watch someone displaying symptoms of their illness. DID is an illness. It's not a normal and happy way to live. It also makes some systems feel like a circus attraction when switch caught on camera videos are uploaded, and unfortunately DD has uploaded loads of these. Even a CFS caught on camera video, when again, CFS is a largely invisible illness. One note on DD's CFS video, suddenly falling asleep or being so tired you collapse out of nowhere is not a common symptom of CFS. Team Pinata, DissociaDID's ex they promoted,